Hey, this is Alex from the Carpollane Podcast crew. And in this segment, we talk about breakups with relationships, breakups with family, and breakup with friends. And this is more of a healing podcast where we talk about our past breakups, obviously with certain people, and they help us to heal and to become the people we are today, learning from those experiences. So enjoy the podcast. It is very entertaining. Definitely gets a little emotional, but it's definitely all about healing in the long run. So enjoy it and let us know what you guys think. And let us know if you want to hear more. Again, this is part one of three. Part one of three. This is breakups that make us, and this is relationships.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Carpoolane episode 110. Woohoo! 110. I am Alex.
Jessica.
And they're not listening. Yeah, Maria and Stephanie are in the background. They'll join us in later. Today's topics, brought to you by Jessica, is about breakups.
Breakups and makeups to wake up cold and lonely.
The breakups that make us.
Chill,
baby. You know me.
Oh,
Shit. We'll go around the room. Say your names. Go around the room. Say your name. Frank.
we got Frank.
Franklin.
Dominic.
Vicky.
Soul.
Jazzy.
Dimitri.
Alright.
All
We got other
right.
here. Say your name.
Me. Fernando.
And we got Guap and Stephanie in the background. And Leslie. And Leslie. Oh, Leslie's somewhere. And JJ and Mateo. It's a full podcast. So the kids are going to be talking in here.
I can. This is.
Oh, man.
I don't like
So the breakup, this breakups, I mean, obviously we always think about relationships, but boyfriend, girlfriend type of thing. But we're also going to be talking about breakups with family, friends. It doesn't have to specifically be boyfriend, girlfriend, but it will be like, say, a love interest. You know, say you broke up with someone that you were kind of talking to and just cut it out. You don't have to say any names. I don't know, just going to roll down more rules or anything.
Yeah. If you want to pass, you can pass. If you don't feel comfortable talking about a certain relationship, it's cool. You don't have to name any names if that makes it easier for you to talk about it. But yeah, let's try to share and cry and, that's why we're doing this.
Yes. What did we call like the anti-Valentine's Day thing? Because it was closer to Valentine's Day when we were first thinking
I don't know
about
what
it.
you're talking about.
When you first thought about this topic. It
Oh.
was around Valentine's. Well, it was a
No,
little after
I was going
Valentine's.
through a breakup myself, so.
Oh, okay. I know who broke up with alcohol. But I mean, how do you want to start this off? I do it just relationships.
Okay, well, we'll say first topic. Who has actually been through a relationship break, like a love interest breakup?
You two have it.
You have
We broke up.
That doesn't count.
Okay, yeah.
You guys broke up?
Like a long time ago.
Okay, I think that would be like a.
That counts.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know plenty of people who have broken up and then they've gotten married.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like for us, it's like,
One at a time.
13?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're right.
I was 12.
Oh, yeah.
12? So,
That's
Jaslyn, Soul, go ahead and say again.
You weren't even a
When did you guys-
fucking teen yet.
Dominic, shut up! Let him talk. One person at a time.
Explain your relationship. How long have you guys
go
known
ahead.
each other?
Okay, so we were friends for a little while, like through the summer. We played soccer next to each other. And
How old
then
were you guys?
12. I was 12, he was 13.
I was told too.
Well, we met when you were 12. Yeah, but he had just.
The way she kicked that ball. Right.
How old are you guys now?
I'm about to be 26 and he's 26.
Yikes.
You guys met in PE or what?
We didn't go to the same school, but should I just jump into it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we were obviously together for a really long time. We were children, and then in college, it got kind of like we've only known each other. It got kind of like scary. Like I know I wanted to marry him, but I was like kind of terrified of like what if like we never got this experience not being together and like I don't know. I was overthinking a lot of stuff, and he was too, and I was just like maybe we should just like not be together for a little bit. But that didn't really last that long. When we were broken up, we saw each other all the time. Like,
Did someone say, let's take a break?
I feel like it wasn't like a real breakup, but it was.
Uh-huh.
You know, like we gave each other that space, you know.
Yeah.
We tried. My mom was crying all the time, and I was like, I was
Why'd
like,
you guys
Mother,
break up?
she's like, why are you hurting each other?
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, Mom, like I'm trying to be an adult. I'm trying to like figure this out because I do want to marry him eventually, but
You don't want to have those doubts. When you're
yeah,
married.
we were kids, you know, so it's like you have to kind of be realistic.
Yeah.
Oh, we kind of knew we were gonna get back together,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
didn't even tell people either. People like
We
still
were showing
hanged
up
out.
to your guys' events
Yeah.
and we were broken up. Like
Yes,
no one even knew.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You told me you were breaking up, and then
And
like
then we
the
told
next
you
time-
guys like later too, like
Yeah.
once we
Yeah.
were like back together with you.
God.
But like, you know, we were always best friends. So.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think that's a quick. It's a question. I was like, how many breaks have you guys had?
It was that one time.
Just that one time?
Yeah.
We were on a break. I know. Okay, so here's a general question: how many breaks should a couple have before they should just call it quits?
Are you asking the whole group?
I'm asking
Yeah,
the whole group. This is a whole
general.
group talking. Like, if you
I
heard
feel
from
like
anybody
that's
else,
subjective because you got you.
What
It
does
depends.
subjective mean?
Like it's. Did I say it wrong?
no.
Did I
You
choose
said
the
it
wrong
right.
word?
No, you're saying it right.
No.
I
I don't
really,
know.
I really don't know what it means.
It's like your own opinion.
Like it's different for every couple.
It's
Okay.
a loose point.
It means move.
It doesn't matter. It is.
These are all friends references.
I'm sorry. Sorry, we don't want friends. Yeah. So, have you heard anybody like staying together after like what 3 breaks?
It depends. It depends how severe they are and what they're for. Because sometimes you just. Because I think it goes all the way back to like your outlook on relationships. Like,
And your mental well-being.
yeah,
Some
like.
people are just like love the making up, the breaking up,
I feel like
toxic
there's,
forever.
there's a lot. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to say it's toxic, but I think it kind of
It is.
It is.
It's not stable.
I think
Yeah.
because
True.
you're constantly on a roller coaster, you know, like you're going up and down all the time. Your feelings are, you're either in a high or in a low. But if you don't know how to work those issues out together as a couple, like why even bother still continuing it? You know, like if I can't work out a situation with him and we're just gonna fight, break up, and then get back together, but that issue's still there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I feel like then what's the point? Like I can have maybe like I don't need to be with this person, and maybe the next person will work out those issues with me. You know what I'm
But the
saying?
thing is the next person gives you a whole new set of issues. You get a whole new set of issues, and they'll give you everything the last person didn't.
But it's if that person's willing to work on.
Yeah,
those
no,
issues,
no,
you
I
know,
get you.
like,
I mean, I think you also learn with every relationship. You learn, and you kind of like you're better for the next person. You learn. Like, I mean, now I know for my next relationship, like, oh, I've already been hurt that way, so it's not gonna.
Yeah, you
face
know
me.
what
Yeah.
to look out for.
I've been through this before.
Red flags.
I know. Oh man.
But I feel like sometimes you get with someone, or you have a big fight, and you just ending it or being on a break or whatever means something different to each of you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess that's why you have deal breakers.
True.
Okay.
But that doesn't really break, just giving them space. You know?
Yeah, but if you get into a fight where you're like, it's over, and you don't talk for a couple days or however long.
but people do they really mean that?
That was a big.
But that's the thing, that's what I'm saying. For one person, it's like, oh, it's over. Okay, well, that means it's over, and I'm going to start, heal the healing process. The other person's like, oh, we'll work it out,
Well, I have a friend who, she was like, okay, well, we're not talking to each other. 3 months later, we're still not talking to each other. I was like, girl, I think that's a breakup. I think you guys broke up 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Damn. And you
Damn.
guys just didn't know
Don't
it.
put a stamp on it. Damn.
Right?
I think even just going a couple of days is just
Yeah.
If you go a couple days, yeah, without talking to him, it's like you just need a quick break.
space.
Yeah, breathe a space. There you go,
But
space.
as adults, you should be able to communicate
Yeah.
like your needs, set your boundaries. You know, like if you need that space, like I should be able to communicate it to you as my partner, and like okay, we'll work on it. Just I need to let you know, like
No, you guys
I-
are ready to get married. Are you guys
Yeah,
engaged?
that sounds like a healthy. I'm like, that's a healthy outlook.
Yeah.
Right?
Instead of
Talk about
usually we
that.
need a break, like, oh, I need space. I want to go sleep in this room. You can chill. Watch
because at the end of the day, you know you want to be with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so what's the point of putting more damage on it? You
Oh,
know?
you guys are so grown. Oh my god.
Do you guys want to share any
The
other
youngest ones are grown.
relationship breakups? Do you guys want to share other relationship breakups? Frankie?
Say it.
How many
You
you got?
just ask me. Just
Frankie,
go
you got
ahead.
any relationship breakups?
You sure you want to hear it?
Yes.
I can hear it. I mean, I was
Build
gonna
a
do
team.
mine. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you first.
Okay, my breakup. First official relationship. it was 4 months in, and she got jealous because I was turning 21. That some of my friends / coworkers were trying to plan like, hey, let's go bar hopping at this time. And at the time, she didn't plan anything for me on my 21st. So it's like, okay, well, like they've already kind of planned anything. And now I was kind of telling her the message like, hey, they're planning all this, and she didn't like that. It became a bigger thing. Basically, by the end, on my 21st birthday, there's a picture of me blowing out my candles. It was right then, a little before that, she texted me, "We're broken up. We're done."
Well, sorry.
Yeah. But the next day, we ended up getting back together and going out. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like she got mad over that.
How old was she?
24. 24. Yeah.
She was 24. You were
That's
21.
annoying when
Yes.
people get mad
Yeah.
and they said that we're breaking up. Like, over
Yeah.
text.
Yeah.
Like,
Over text.
Very insecure.
And saying the words "broken up," and I was like, I don't want to talk to you right now, or just not respond.
Don't use that
That's
as a threat.
even not with no response is even worse. But like saying you're broken up, and then I'm about to blow up my candles right there, and that's one of my vivid memories too, because my aunt Lorraine was alive at the time, and so she was there, so it made me feel special.
She was about to.
No,
No,
yeah.
You were about to eat that.
but yeah,
I remember that birthday.
yeah. But I mean, we ended up hanging out the next day. It was Halloween. We ended up going to Halloween parties and stuff, and it's just like, oh, okay. But yeah, later on, relationship didn't work out, and yeah, she ended up breaking up with me again. Oh man, near Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and she gave me like the
Good
teddy
timing.
bear, the teddy bear I gave to her, and all this other stuff I gave to her. Yeah, and it's just like wow, yeah, perfect timing. But yeah. By then the relationship was basically already phased out by that time, so it's like it's done. But yeah, 21st birthday. 21st and single for a minute.
Here to remember.
All right, Frankie. Oh, and sorry. Sorry. In this case, yeah, it's not just relationships. It's just maybe significant others or not significant people of interest, as you said it.
The couch
Yeah.
is comfortable.
So go ahead.
No, I was just thinking like
Alex, the
when I
couch
was
is
with
comfortable.
Alex, the Filipino girl.
You don't say names.
He's
Whatever.
Okay,
So I was
okay.
not trying to get.
Wait, which one
Okay.
was she?
Shut up. So, you know, it's so funny because like when we broke up, like so I remember she broke up with me like 2 days before we went on a trip to Portugal, and I was like,
So you guys still went?
we still went. Because we were still cool. Like even though we went on the trip together, like it wasn't awkward. Like we still had a good time. You know, like as if we were friends with everything. And so we came back. It was like literally like a fucking kind of like a storybook ending. Fucking had an Uber back. Fucking like looked at each other, cried a little bit, gave each other a hug, and said goodbye. And that was the last time I ever seen her. And it was just that and then talk nothing. Well, maybe like a little bit of texting, but after that I didn't see her ever again. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like usually most people when they break up, they get back together or something happens.
Back and forth.
A little
Yeah.
bit. That was just broke up, said goodbye, and that was it.
Walk
And I was
away.
like, that was, and we
Did you
got-
look back? Did you
What?
look back when you walked away?
No, I was at the house.
Oh.
No, but,
Slow walking back.
It was funny when I tell people that because like some people are like, oh my god, like that's like a fucking movie. Like the fuck you guys just went
How
your
long
own
were you guys
ways and
together for?
like almost 4 years.
Oh, damn.
Like damn.
It was probably easier that way.
No, it was, but it was like it made me question. I'm like, damn, like should I try? Should I try? Should I try and get? But,
Was that real?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like damn, like
She don't miss me?
yeah.
No, I get
Yeah, I
it.
just thought I was
Probably the
interesting.
same thing on the other side.
She only texted you back for money. Was that it?
No.
Bill me.
But usually you don't see that happen. Like
Yeah,
especially in
that's
long-term
true.
relationships, like there's some little like rekindling or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You make that money.
Like, it's always on the
You
table.
can stack up that RN money though.
It's pretty interesting.
No, that reminds me. But my ex and I, we officially broke up after Valentine's Day. We still try to hang out because like we were watching the same TV show, so we still try to hang out as friends. But after she found out I was starting to date, she just left the picture.
Good.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But we didn't have no storybook or anything like that. I know, I was like I'm a true person. But yeah, I was like, we already made it official. Anyways, Frankie.
Go.
You said don't tell my
I
story.
said go. Tell your
Why?
story.
Don't
I'll tell you. It's a long, drawn-out story. I'll keep it short. So it was like I met someone a long time ago when I was 21, and we hit it off. Like it was cool because, like you know when like the internet's starting to take over, most people meet like through apps or whatever.
Yep.
But we met through one of my coworkers. So we met like organically, so it was nice. You don't meet people like that, especially like in the gay scene. You meet online or whatever. So we met Our first date was really nice. I wanted to take him out and like spoil him, but I didn't have money, so I cooked and took him food, and we hit it off. We had a really good first date, and at first it was really nice. But then just like on my end, it was like we're dating exclusive. On his end, it wasn't so much. So that kind of set like a rocky start, and then we got past that, and you kind of like towards the end we ended up doing couples counseling, and now looking back, you kind of have like there's a big part to play in every relationship that you don't realize is when you're growing up, the primary relationships that you view are what you model your relationships out of or from, and it's all subconscious. You don't even realize that you're modeling your relationship after the ones that you've seen. And so some of the relationships that I've seen are my grandparents. And a lot of the times people have this expectation of, if you model your relationship after your grandparents, your expectation is everything just works. Why? Because your grandparents already, they've had kids, they've had the marital struggles, they've had the financial struggles, they've done all that. They've done all the work to get where they're at, to where they just get each other. It's like, you're annoying, but whatever. I put up with you this long, it is what it is. But then, so that's one expectation. Then another one I had was like, it's more like things aren't going my way, it's over. Things aren't going my way, it's over. That's another one that I had, and that's kind of what I followed. And it's like almost like, oh, that's how you get what you need from the person. And then you kind of think you're supposed to be able to, if someone really wants to be with you, they're gonna figure out what it is you want. When in reality, no, they're not gonna figure out what you want. You have to tell them. And then going to couples counseling, I basically had to undo everything I learned growing up, and it was hard because it takes a lot of putting your pride aside and, okay, what am I going to do? Look, I want this, this, and this from you. These are the things our couples counselor made us write out lists of what we wanted. I wanted 5 things. I wanted respect. I wanted to be priority. I wanted to be, I wanted, God. It was like 5 important key pillars of like a relationship. Whereas like I got like a full piece of binder paper with a front and back of expectations, and I worked on every single one of them. And it was.
How long did you guys? Have you guys?
We were together for 10 years.
Oh,
Or at the time, probably like 7,
oh, okay,
6 or 7. And so at that time, it was like, okay, you guys got to live. Like we decided to live together and all that, because it's like. It was rough. It was rough. But once we decided to live together, and it was like the living together part was easy. We could be roommates all day long. Like, bills were paid, food was made, house was clean. That was the easy part. The hard part was the romance, the prioritization. Like, it's not about me. It's about our relationship. Are you prioritizing? Are you making time for us? Are you doing anything for us? What's going on with us? Like a good prime example. He made money and I didn't. I was kind of, just like coasting through, acting like a teenager. Yeah, kind of acting like a teenager. And his thing was like, he wouldn't plan. I'd say, oh, we should go here. We should do this. I wouldn't suggest something unless I had the money for it. So if I said, for instance, let's go to New York. I bought the tickets. I paid for the hotel. I had money when I was out there. So unless I had all that for myself, there was no way that we were going to plan something. Now him, looking back and talking, because we're still good friends now. Looking back, it's like, well, there's no way we can do that. I'm not paying for everything, so we're not going to do these things. Instead of saying, how about this? You want to go to New York? Okay, you book the hotel, you book the flights, and I'll pay for everything when we're out there. Or finding some sort of compromise to work together.
Yeah.
It was like, and in couples counseling, I learned why his view was like that. His view was like that because in his parents' relationship, he comes from a interracial relationship where his mom was Italian and his dad was black. Now, his Italian side, his grandparents did not like his father, right? So anytime they did holidays or celebrations, he went with the mom, and the mom's side didn't want the dad there. So the dad stayed home. Damn. So his outlook on relationships is, dad stays home, we go with mom. Ooh. So the outlook is, it's perfectly fine to do things separate. And when I was younger, I was like, yeah, I'll go with my friends, you go with your friends. That's good. But there also needs to be the joint part, right? There needs to be the relationship needs to be a priority, right? that wasn't there. And it took until then to realize that's where that came from, right? And it takes so long to digest it, understand it, and be able to like live with that. You're still upset. Like, I'm not getting my needs met, you know? So, anyways.
He didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah, and in order for him to realize it and actually work on it, it took, I mean, I feel like he just now understands that part of himself. And I feel like couples counseling taught me a lot about myself, taught him a lot about himself, and taught us about each other, and also like our outlooks. And I think it's just, it was really hard, and we did a lot of breakup makeup, and then like, you know, you're in the gay scene, so it's like everyone's like, when you're together, everyone's throwing themselves at you, you know, so you're like, oh, the grass might be greener, and it's like, and it's not just me, it's not just him, it was kind of both of us. And then even to this day, I have sometimes I think like, did I make a mistake? Because my needs weren't being met. My needs were things like, you know, I need you to value my feelings. I'm a feelings person. I live off my feelings.
When's your birthday?
February 24th.
Oh,
Yesterday, girl. Pisces.
Oh, you're Pisces.
And so.
On the cusp, so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why.
But,
Aquarius and Cancer. Sorry.
And so, like, my thing is I live off my feelings. So my feelings are everything. And he's all logic. So it's like, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. These things need to be paid, or these things need to be done. And it's like, okay, I can understand that, and I can meet you halfway. Can you meet me halfway? And I wasn't getting that. That's what ended the relationship overall. It's like, if you can't meet me at my feelings to some degree, if you can't say, I don't understand that, but I'm going to respect it because it's your part of our relationship. Mm-hmm. If you can't do that, we're not going to work. And me saying it over and over again, the couples counselor saying it over and over again. And I feel like when we were in couples counseling, I swear 75% of the work was on me, because it was a lot of my expectation and all this stuff that I had to scale back and really just humble myself, put my pride to the side, and make myself completely vulnerable. And that was not easy to do, but it's helped in so many ways, because now my like friendships and all that have gotten better. Like, I'm a little more aware of how I can come off and how certain things might be or whatever. But with all that work, it's like, yeah, not overnight, but over time, it's like, okay, well, I'm not getting what I need from you. And I've done all this hard ass work and changed my complete personality to tailor to have us work together, and you're not meeting me halfway. This isn't working. And then the last straw was, we were living together, and I told him, I need you to do anything for our relationship, anything at all. And in my mind, that looked like plan a picnic. It doesn't have to cost money. Plan a picnic, a date, a trip, anything at all. Plan something that tells me that this relationship means something of importance to you. Not this last minute Valentine's gift, not this last minute afterthought anniversary gift, none of that. Something. Plan something and let's do it. I don't care what it is. It can be free, it can cost money, I don't care. Plan something. And I gave him 9 months. He did nothing with that time. So I ended it.
You got complacent, man.
Wow. I was like, that's it. Like, I waited
that's not
long.
a big ask either.
It's not. It's a. But the thing is he doesn't understand. Yeah. He wasn't taking the time to sit back and say, okay, this relationship's important to me. His feelings are important to him. How do I meet him in the middle? He was just like, his outlook was right. His outlook was, I don't care. That's his problem. That's his problem. Ooh. And it's not until now. I mean, that was, I'm 35 now. And that ended when I was 21 or 31. So we were together off and on for 10 years. And that was it. Like, and even after, we tried here and there, and it's like, he's always come around. He met my whole family. He met, he had a close relationship with all my niece and nephews and my sister. He watched my niece and nephews grow up too. He met you when he was
I was like
10, right? Damn. All the way till she's 20, Mm-hmm. And he's, he was there at her graduation party for college. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has his own relationship with a lot of people in my family. That's hard because now I'm dating someone else and I'm like, okay, all that work that I put into this to just throw it away. Do I want to go back? Do I want to work it out? Do I want to start something new? Because like I said, starting something new is a whole new list of issues. Like, yeah, I'm getting like priority. I'm getting the texts all day, every day. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. You know, and it's really nice. But then there's a whole nother thing like, damn, like you're messy. And you're not responsible with your money. And it's the complete opposite of what I had. And it's like, the grass isn't greener. It's always going to take work. So
it's green where you water it.
yeah. And it's,
I like that.
but it's like,
I made that up like right now.
But you don't want to overwater. That's the thing.
yeah. And it was just, with the couples counseling did a lot. And now, like, you know, we've been off for 4 or 5 years, but more than that, because when he moved out, I feel like that's when it ended. Even though we kept trying here and there, but now looking back, we're good friends, and I know he feels the same way I do. Like, if we wanted to get back together, like, that's it. Like, we're gonna stay together, and we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna probably get married, and he told me that, but I just don't know if I can go back to putting myself in the back seat all over again. Because being single, I put myself first. All that energy I put into him, I put into myself, and it was just the best feeling ever. And it's like, I felt healthy, mental clarity, and I felt like I was getting somewhere, and I excelled in life in some ways, and I don't know if I can ever take a back seat again, because it's just not a good feeling, and especially if it makes you feel like you're not worth much when someone can do that. And so, you know, now looking back, it's like, oh, you know, I know the mistakes I made. Yeah, but it's human nature. If we were to get back together, those same issues are gonna arise. What are we gonna do about them? And I don't think much is gonna change. So
Has he changed?
he's grown.
Oh, okay.
I think the biggest, so that was what ended us. That was what stopped us from living together. But what stopped me from trying to work it out, a big thing for me from day one was I want to buy a house. I want to save money and buy a house. I'm like, what if we do this? What if we do that? If you and I put in a savings account that neither one of us can touch without the other one's consent, if we each put $250 a paycheck, we'll have $1,000 every month. I was like, in 2 years, we'll have $24,000 down payment on a house. I was like, in 2 years, we can have a house. Your name and my name on it. I was like, if we break up, we can split it right down the middle, go to the bank together, sign it, and just split our money and cut our ties. I was like, and he wouldn't hear a word of it. He just didn't care what I had to say. And it's because at the time I was very irresponsible with money. I had so now looking back, I see why he didn't take those things serious. But on that same note, it's like, if I'm also thinking of a backdoor plan where it doesn't work out, you still get what you put in, or, you know, it's going to benefit us both in the long run, and I'm thinking of the future, and your response is to just shut down and shut me out, that's not you working towards our future either. Dang. And so because that was my goal from the beginning, once he hung out with the college friend, this is another thing too that I learned in couples counseling with him, is he didn't take his dad's word serious because his dad was irresponsible with money. So he always took his mom's side very serious. So with that, his outlook on men is, you can't take them at face value. You can take a woman at face value, but you can't take a man at face value. So he'll have female friends.
Don't get him started.
No.
Don't get him
That's a
started.
whole other day. Like, his own natural outlook was, if you were to tell me, hey, it's raining outside, be careful, you might slip, it gets slippery out there, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll be extra careful. But if he were to tell me that, I'd be like, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how he was. If I said it, if any guy said it, he would just be like, whatever. But if a female said the same exact thing, it was gospel.
So that was his outlook.
That was his outlook. And I didn't realize, I always took it personal. I took everything personal. So I was like, oh, he had this friend who was the same sign as me, and she's like, yeah, you know, we're getting older, we should start investing in whatever. He comes back, yeah, I was thinking I need to save money and start investing in a property.
He's around his mom, right?
And so,
But that's what you suggested to.
and I was like, he was regurgitating word for word what I already said, but that
You just
his
didn't want to
friend,
do it with you.
that his friend said. And so all this, it's like, okay, you know, and then like with our couples counselor, it got kind of rocky towards the end, because then she wanted to know our financial business, and we weren't comfortable talking about that. And but then he ended up buying a house. So when he lived with me, I told him, pay your student loans off, right? I was living in my mom's house or my mom's apartment. It was on Section 8, so I was able to pay the reduced rent by myself. Unemployment, whatever job I had, I was making sure it was paid. I told him, you buy groceries, and he provided the food, and I want you to just pay off your student loans. He had $65,000 worth of student loans. And I saw that as, when we get married, that's going to be my debt. The sooner you pay that off, the better for our future. That was my outlook. So that whole time we were living together for 2 years, that's what he did. He paid off his student loans. So when he went to go buy a house after we broke up, he had already saved, and his credit was good, and his student loans were paid off.
So you helped.
So he was propelled to a point where he could do it on his own. And here I was like, oh, my feelings are so hurt because you did this without me. And it wasn't about, and then like, I went through these episodes of like, oh, it's because I'm hurt because he did it without me. I'm hurt because I feel used. I'm hurt because of this. I'm hurt because of that. But him buying a house isn't what bothered me. What bothered me the most is he didn't, knowing how much that meant to me, he didn't have me join him in the process. Fine, you pick it, you do what you do because it's for you and you feel that you have to do it yourself, that's fine. But you didn't take me along to look at the houses with you, and that was this big important person in your life. You didn't take me along, you didn't explain the process step by step. Hey, I'm doing this, I gotta check if this is okay. It was all a secret, and we were hanging out that whole time.
Was he trying to do it for you guys?
He was doing it for himself.
Just doing it for himself?
Yeah. And it's because after living with me, he realized, oh, rent is, $1,000, $1,500 to rent a room in a house? That's ridiculous. Yeah, because you weren't paying shit when you were living with me. So of course it's ridiculous. You got slapped with reality. Yeah. So he's like, if I'm going to pay that, I'm going to buy a house. So he saved his money and bought a house. And that's the thing. That's fine. It's great for him. But the part that was hurtful was from the gate, this is what I wanted. And fine, you needed to do it yourself. That's fine. I respect that. I get that. But the thing is I wasn't even the first one to see it. I was like, I had to invite myself over. Hey, when do I get to see your house? I didn't get to. And then
So Jasleen, we didn't get invite ourselves to go to your house.
And then
It's coming.
Gotta
Still,
get it
after this, I still have to study.
My study dates.
And then there's and then one of my cousins, her husband posted on Facebook, basically step by step all the stuff. Tyler, Alicia's husband or boyfriend, he posted step by step everything that they went through, all the challenges and all the hoops they had to jump through. And I'm all like reading it because I'm interested. I'm like, oh, that's what you gotta go through. I'm like, oh wow. Then I'm talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, you had to do it. I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Like, don't act like no. This is something you could have even told me after the fact. Like, it was something because as two gay males, there's only so many things and so many experiences that you're gonna ever be able to have together. When you're straight, you can have a kid, and it's gonna look like the both of you. We're never gonna have that. So these selective things, like buying a house, getting married, traveling to certain places, like for the first time and experiencing those things together, those things mean everything to me, and he knows that. He saw it as it's something I need to do because I'm not going to throw my money away with rent. I saw it as it's an experience that you kind of took from us for yourself, even though I understand how it looks, I understand how I sound, but that to me at the time is how I felt. And that is why I'm just like, no.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. He did all that shit behind your back. He was hiding something.
Yeah. Well, he was trying to... The thing, too, with him is he's also very quiet, very reserved, and he never really ever got to do anything he wanted. He always just kind of goes with the flow. And before, when we were in couples counseling, I always said, speak up, tell me what you want. And he would just shut down. That's his personality. So buying a house, he wanted to do it all himself. Which now looking back and talking to him, I understand it was important for him to pick what he wanted without external influence.
Did he ever say that to you?
It was after the fact,
okay.
but yeah. And so I understand it now, and all that hurt I've healed from, but it's like, as far as our relationship, like, those are the things that I would be having to subject myself to. Okay. So, yeah. Sorry. Long tangent.
No.
Thank you
Very detailed. Damn. What a speech. No, I'm just kidding. No, damn, no. Yeah.
We learned a lot. I learned a lot.
Definitely learned a lot.
But, yeah, there's definitely still a lot of love there, and I'm like, even though I'm talking to someone else and stuff, I'm like, did I fully let him go? Am I, like, would I be able to go back? Like, and then I look at Jazzy and Soul, and they basically got together months after him and I got together. And it's just like, they're so non-toxic. You hear them? Like, they broke up once in the matter of, almost 15 years? Me and him broke up, like, once a year. you know, and it's because we butt heads on everything. And it was like, to your question, when you're like, how many times? It's like, it depends, because some of the stuff was, you know, you pissed me off, and some of the stuff was, no, you really crossed the line and disrespected me. You know what I mean?
I feel like now that you point that out, I feel like it's very different because, like, you know, like you guys both experience like differences in like what relationship looked like, so that makes sense. You know, now like that you brought that up, because like what we did, we saw our parents, we did the opposite, and it worked out because we took the opposites of our parents and we thought the exact same thing, and that's why, you know, like I feel like we think so alike. But you guys had completely different experiences, and also you guys are both men, so it's like you guys also have to like, it's like code switching kind of thing, you know, like he gets that experience from his mom, he neglects what his dad thought, and you're a man, so it's like, so he's taking that out on you because you're a man, you know, like, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm right, but it's like your experiences were different.
Yeah, I hear what he described about like how he only listens to really women.
Yeah,
opinions.
and that I was like, and you're not a woman, like, you know.
Yeah,
so
but it's
it
like,
affects you.
But if you're with someone, you're intimate, you're love, it's like a whole relationship, and it's supposed to be the most primary. It's supposed to take precedent over everything else, and your partner won't listen to you, won't take what you say serious. That's beyond hurtful.
Yeah, and he has to learn to adjust to that, you know, because he didn't know that growing up.
Right.
Kind of took like the primary factors out of that equation, like
right.
just the listening, the just getting along and just understanding each other. That's the primary, you know, basis of a relationship.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't work, that's kind of hard to make everything else work.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's kind of like what you're saying. You know, you learn that from your parents. Like I know, like for my parents, love is being able to provide. You know, so the way that he was very logical.
And that's how his love language is being is
service.
Yeah.
Making sure that you could be provided for and fed. Like that's his main thing.
Like when go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. Whereas mine is more time and attention.
Yeah.
It's nothing material. Time and attention. That's it. Like.
I remember when we were like we lost our house and stuff like that, and I just remember looking at my dad and he was so hurt by it, but I'm like, yeah, but we still have each other. But then I had to go back and remember this is what he learned from my grandpa and his you know, grandpa is like just being able to care for them. So it was like his manhood had been really hurt. So I totally get it. Yeah, you learn from them. I also, every relationship in my head is chaotic because that's what I know. So it's I really gotta choose and pick wisely.
Going into that, I mean, is anyone going, before we got out of relationships a little bit, any love interests that you've had, well, obviously interest in, that you broke it off with them for a certain reason?
What?
Like, has there been someone like you've ever been talking to, and all of a sudden you just cut it off because for some certain reason, like you just weren't getting along with them?
No, the sex was awful. I'm just fucking with you.
That'll do it too.
I mean, there's no
That'll do it.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Dom?
What?
Dom, you're right. You're right.
We gave him caffeine.
What did you give him?
Coffee.
Dom, any person you've ever like talked to that you obviously just like stopped talking?
That I had to stop talking to?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like we just weren't
clicking.
They were toxic.
Any
they
red
lied.
flags?
Oh, yeah, red flags.
Oh, red flags. That's important.
Or like deal breakers that you were like, forget this shit.
No,
She's a racist. I ain't
dating.
dating here nowhere.
Race.
Nah, it just faded just because just lost interest or whatever. Nothing too serious now.
Vicky?
What about you, Vicky?
I think this was actually a couple months ago. This person, they were just too crazy for me. Like, just super everywhere. They couldn't like keep control. Like, couldn't like. They were just so loud. Like, I'm not allowed. Like, it was too much for me. Like,
It's too loud.
Even thinking about it now,
Red
like.
flags right next to you.
It's kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
They just had like one time I went to the beach and the person person was just like on the rocks and the water. I'm like, oh my god, dude, chill, like
doing the most.
relax, like
Just chill on the beach.
They're the opposite of what you
like just chill, like relax, like so loud.
So he was too much.
It was just too much for me, and just kept blowing up my phone, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm interested
the blow up the
anymore.
phone thing. Oh yeah.
So I just ghosted.
Oh, damn.
I've been ghosted. That feels nice.
Just
It feels nice.
it was just different things. We wanted different things. I was not at his level.
Nice. His energy level.
Well, I'm kind of like that though.
At least you did.
No,
I
you're
don't
not.
blow you up though, but
I'll blow you up.
I'll definitely be jumping in the water and on the rocks and shit like that.
That sounds fun, man.
Yeah, you're very extra.
But he's entertaining to watch. That's
But-
Yeah, it's entertaining to
Like,
watch. He gets out of the water. The water's cold. The nipples are like.
you're not like that.
What were you saying?
I said the other person, they were just extra, like it just wasn't fun. Like they weren't making it like not that connection that I wanted.
They were doing the most.
Yeah, they were doing the most. They didn't like. It's like he was there by himself, like just jumping off rocks in the water, skipping rocks. I'm like, oh my god.
He's a rock skipper. God damn it.
I know you like skipping
No,
rocks.
take-
What's wrong with skipping rocks?
Skip rocks is a deal breaker.
I'm
Done.
just saying it's just too much.
I get it.
You know?
You gotta give some better examples.
It's probably hard to put in words.
Yeah,
what it is
there was a
exactly.
lot of like, different little things, but that's the one where I'm like, oh, you can't just
Like a center of
chill and
So-
relax
so-
for 5-10. Like this person couldn't chill,
Sit
relax
still.
for
Yeah,
5-10
so
minutes.
the whole point of you guys going to the beach was just like, hey, we're just gonna relax and just chill, have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no.
I mean, I get it. Yeah.
And
If
it
you're
was
not
like-
trying to go camping and do all these outdoor
Went to a
sports, then
baseball game. It was going up and down. I'm like, oh my god, just
Oh
can we just
my
sit down
God,
and
yeah.
watch the
Take a seat
game?
and
Like,
sit. Yeah.
sit down,
I mean,
have a beer.
Oh my god, ADD. I know.
Oh.
That's what it sounds
He's
like.
describing that.
I think it's ADHD severely,
That's
which
what it
there's
sounds
nothing
like.
wrong with, but
It's not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
it was just too much for me.
He's too extra.
I'm definitely kind of like that.
That's
Nah,
that's me in the morning.
Oh my god. Me and him are two different
He's a
people in the
morning
morning.
person?
Yeah, I am not. I need my sleep and my coffee.
And
Nothing going.
I'm like, you're too happy right
this
now.
one, who? Which one?
No, I was saying funny. He was like, but don't be entertaining. And I started laughing because like literally when I got to the bathroom, I was like peeking like through the door and I was like this. And then I like pulled my pants down and flat and like mooned her and she like looked over, she started laughing. But I'm just like making her laugh.
But that's like normal. Like that's okay. Like that's fine.
It's like
I
a
think
twist
majority
of
of people in this room have all seen Dominic's ass at one point.
I was just like,
It's the rocks that go
You know the windows right here? He moved me from all the way down the hall. When he came out here, like the first time he was ever here, I just see butt cheeks all the way down the hall. And I gotta walk slowly to him. I'm like,
I hope your neighbors didn't see.
no, luckily no one was there.
first thing he does is try to pull his phone. Oh, let me get this on camera. Like he always does.
You two, right?
Huh.
Well, I mean, you guys only had like a 5-minute break, so it doesn't really count.
5 minutes.
You, anyone that you've ever talked to that like you just like, huh?
I played the fifth.
You plead the fifth? Okay.